What is up, guys, and welcome back into the Rams house. Thank you so much for stopping back in to the Rams house, and today we're going to be going over the top 10 things we learned from Rams training camp day 4. Really been enjoying this series with you guys, so let me know what you think of it down below, and if you like Rams content, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, because that is all that I do on this channel. So really excited to be delivering that for you guys. Getting in at number 10, what Stu Jackson said was, family day includes players too. So after Saturday's practice concluded, several players were greeted by their families as they came off the field. So yeah, encouraging to hear that these players who have been working really hard get to see their families. And as always, number 10 is usually what Stu Jackson includes as kind of like an honorable mention, not really anything that happened as far as like what we learned from the players or anything like that. But yeah, it's always encouraging to hear that. Number 9, Micah Kiser's instincts. And it says, while linebacker Micah Kiser instincts are nothing new given his tackling production, on Saturday he showed it during the move the ball team drill by ripping the ball loose from a receiver after they made the catch from a Stafford pass. So yeah, it's just encouraging to see that Micah Kiser is adding more to, kind of his wheelhouse and what he can do, and adding a lot of those skills, adding on to what he can do at the linebacker spot, and he can prove it this year for everything that he's learning in training camp. So excited to hear that he's getting better at that. And then number 7 talks, I completely skipped that. Number 8 talks about denied by David Long Jr. Cornerback David Long Jr. had a nice pass breakup on a Stafford pass intended for Kupp during one-on-ones. So yeah, this is really good, just iron sharpening iron, and I think Kupp and Stafford making David Long Jr. better, especially if he's preparing to go to that number 3 role at cornerback. It's just really encouraging to hear that he's getting better at breaking up those passes, reading the offense and what they're doing, especially if you're going up against a guy like Cooper Kupp and then a guy like Matthew Stafford, who Ramsey has said himself that, Matthew Stafford has that ball placement that he hasn't really seen in a quarterback in a long time. So yeah, I'm really happy for David Long Jr. that he's getting better and really making a case to be that number 3 cornerback. Number 7 talks about Ben Skoranek, where, he's just getting better at the catching, and he's really progressing, making some strides in this training camp. And I think that this is really nice for Ben Skoranek, just because our wide receiver group is so deep that it's hard to make the team just because of the Rams and how deep they are at receiver. So making a case to stay on this roster, it sounds like that's exactly what he's doing in training camp. So I'm really excited for him, hoping he can stay on this team with us, and we'll see what he can do later in training camp. And then it says, Woods' big play. During 11-on-11 team drills, Stafford fired a tight window throw to Woods near the sideline, and Woods was able to get both feet in down while making the catch. Then, in a separate team drill emphasizing move the ball, Stafford ended that team drill threading the ball between 2 defenders to find Woods for the touchdown. Wood also had a sideline catch during the quarterbacks and wide receivers' preliminary throwing sessions on sideline throw by Stafford that juggled, successfully corralled, and got both feet in bounds, drawing applause from the fans. So yeah, that was a long paragraph. Sorry I had to read that off for you guys, but pretty much what they're just saying is Wood and Stafford are developing a really big rapport and good chemistry in this training camp. So I'm really excited to be hearing that, because I like Woods as a receiver. He can do so much. I think he's going to have a big season, and developing that chemistry and rapport with the new quarterback is very important. And there's been plenty of highlight plays in this training camp already, so excited to see what Woods and Stafford can do together. Heading in at number 5, it says, getting a look at the running backs. Henderson looked explosive, while Xavier Jones and Jake Funk showed good agility. All 3 had touchdowns during the red zone period. Funk specifically had a nice outside run that beat the defender to the pylon for the score. So yeah, a lot of people really want to know about these running backs and what they can do, especially past Henderson. Sounds like Henderson is really what we expect, having that nice burst and explosive run, and they seem to be emphasizing that Xavier Jones and Jake Funk are not really like an explosive or, big home run hitter type of running back, but they really use that agility to their advantage to get touchdowns and big plays. So really nice to get an inside look at these running backs, because that's what a lot of people have been wanting. Next up, we got at number 4, Ramsey versus Deshaun Jackson. To the delight of the crowd, the final rep on one-on-one drills featured lining up Ramsey against Jackson. This is a really good one. Stafford launched a deep ball down the right sideline, but Ramsey was there to break up the pass. The efforts of both the receiver and cornerback, and probably Stafford, for the deep shot garnered cheers from the crowd. So yeah, just iron sharpening iron. I never can say that right. Just more of that going on in training camp, and I think watching Deshaun Jackson and Jalen Ramsey matchup, that would be awesome to see. And knowing that Stafford is really going to be taking those deep shots, I think that's also exciting because we didn't see that much from Goff last year. So seeing that we're going to be testing more of those deep shots and Stafford's more aggressive, that's also exciting to see too. And I wish I could have watched that one too. Number 3, no-look pass. The red zone period ended with Stafford firing a no-look pass to running back Darrell Henderson Jr. for a touchdown. And man, should we be surprised at this point? Like, I just want to see this in the regular season. I really haven't seen much from Stafford doing the no-look passes. I have seen a couple on the highlights. Can't wait to see it in real time. And yeah, I think that would be so exciting to see in real time, going to Darrell Henderson, kind of showcasing Henderson's route running ability that he can bring to the table this season. And Stafford obviously with that no-look pass, that would be really fun to see. It says, then 9 finds 10. Stafford's response to the interception was equally impressive. The next play, he escaped the pocket and found wide receiver Cooper Kupp in the back of the end zone for a touchdown and a tight window pass. So yeah, I think this is one of the big things that we can also like about Stafford. There's plenty of things to like, but I feel like after Jared Goff had a bad play, this isn't like trying to knock him or anything, but after Jared Goff had a bad play, he kind of had that for the rest of the game, like this negative way, and he couldn't get back on track. So seeing that Stafford could, after a pick 6 to Jalen Ramsey, I mean, yeah, he is Jalen Ramsey, but that can really get you down. But then the next play, you see that he finds Cooper Kupp for a touchdown. So really encouraging. Then the play we were just talking about, 5 goes for 6. So yeah, Jalen Ramsey took that interception to the house from Stafford and then tossed it to Aaron Donald even. So a very exciting play there where Stafford was trying to find Cooper Kupp, but Ramsey was just right on him, took it to the house, tossed it to Aaron Donald. Exciting play all around. And again, all these players getting better through each other, especially with all the greats on this offense and defense. I'm really excited to see how the rest of this training camp shakes out. Let me know what you think down below. As always, horns up and God bless.